Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern here from Modern Salon TV. I'm here with Dennis Stockley. We're at the premiere show 2013 in Orlando, Florida. And Dennis is a celebrity stylist, and I love it that you came by the Modern booth. Thank you for coming by. Tell us a little bit about some of the some of the artists that you have worked on.
Well, first of all, the show's amazing, and the booth caught my eye. I've always been a big fan of the publications and love Modern Salon. So I just want to say hi. I actually have been at it a long time, but I think I'm most probably notable for working with Paula Abdul while she was on American Idol. I was Paula's stylist at the end of season 6, and I worked with Paula pretty much every day for 3 years until she left the show at the end of season 8. It was a dream come true. It was the ride of a lifetime. And the thing that was really fun about Paula is she was game for anything. She wanted long hair, she wanted short hair, she wanted it up, she wanted it down, she wanted it curly, she wanted it straight. And I was always able to create things that kind of had her fun personality. I come from a real true hairdressing background. I started in New York. I answered the phones at the Kenneth Salon in the Waldorf. It was my first job. And then I trained with Frederick Fekkai when he was in Bergdorf Goodman. So I come from a true hairstyling background. So taking that structure of building great hairstyles and making them modern and fun for Paula was just, like I said, a dream come true.
Well, that's a question that many people in the Modern Salon audience have. How do you get that opportunity to work with a celebrity?
You know, it was really an interesting journey for me. But I will say, looking back, there are two things that really made it all happen. Number one was my skill set. You really just had to have the skill that was required to do it. And number two, I really think it was my attitude. It was just out of a kind gesture that I met Paula. I did a wedding with Alexis Vogel, the famous makeup artist that has worked with Cher and Pam Anderson and Anna Nicole Smith. And after the wedding, I turned to Alexis and I said, "Thank you so much, Alexis. I've always admired your work." And she stopped and said, "Really? Nobody ever does that. Thank you, Dennis. I would like your name and number." And a week later, she called me from Palm Springs, California, and said she was with Paula Abdul, and that she had told Paula about me. And Paula had a photo shoot the next day for OK Magazine, a 10-page spread, and Paula wanted to try me out, and I needed to be at her house at 5 a.m. in the Hollywood Hills. So I showed up, and then it was when the skill set became involved. They wanted 7 looks, and they wanted like I said, long, short, curly, straight, up, down, and literally it was a 14, 15-hour shoot. And that's when my training, my education, really just jumped into the room with me because I created things that she loved. And at the end of the shoot, she turned to me and said, "You're amazing. We have to work together." American Idol called the next day.
So your tips are, number one, have the skills.
Absolutely.
Train constantly. Be humble and be
kind, and I really think don't let your ego prevent you from becoming great. I think the biggest thing I see as I travel and teach classes and make appearances and judge competitions is there are a lot of really good hairstylists that never become great because of their ego. They become a good stylist and they start making money because they have a good skill set, and then they become kind of ego-driven, and they won't look across the room and say, "Wow, I can't do that updo, but I certainly can't ask how to do it because I'm too well known and successful and I'm the hairstylist." Don't let your ego prevent you from becoming great. I always embraced my weaknesses. I'm more of a stylist. I don't love coloring, so if I had to do something with coloring I didn't really love, I reached out to a great colorist. So know your weaknesses, and don't look at other hairdressers as the competition. Everybody brings something different to the table. So be yourself, let your own niche unfold. As I have evolved in my career, there's a lot of things that I don't really do, but there's a few things I do really well.
So one last question. What's going on with Paula now? Are you working with her?
I really haven't been in a lot of touch with Paula since we left the show. She works with an amazing group of people. She's always bringing people in and out of her glam squad and her group. But I know she's doing great things. I feel very certain you'll probably see her back on TV.
Okay, well, thank you so much for this time. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the great advice, because you never know where you are. You can think you're in some little town, but you never know who you're working with, who will then be working with a Paula Abdul or some other celebrity.
That is exactly right. You really never know. I'm a little town in South Georgia, and I always had a knack for hair. Always as a child had a knack for hair. I thought I was going to be a journalist. I dropped out of the University of Georgia as a sophomore, moved to New York, But I got an education. From having a knack, I got an education. And then from the education, I got a lot of experience. And when you have a knack for something, then you get an education, and then you build the experience. I think it finally all comes together, and you realize that, it's kind of your path. It's really my niche, and I've had an amazing journey, and I look forward to, moving and doing great things ahead of me.
Well, again, thanks for stopping by. Congratulations on your success, and have a great show.
Thank you.
Okay, see you. All right,
Thanks so much.
Bye.